FDI data set between inflow of foreign direct investments between India and UK. Since this project has special emphasis on fintech, I would be just going through the overall FDI analysis between India and UK, how the trends have been in the past few years, sector-wise trends, and what sectors we would need to concentrate when it comes to fintech specifically. So, a brief overview about a data set. This data set is actually obtained from the FDI markets database that is a service from the Financial Times, and it is actually a cross-border greenfield investment. By greenfield investment, what I mean is greenfield type of investment is a type of FDI in which a parent company would create a subsidiary in a different country and it would build its operations from ground up. That's why it's called greenfield, because they would flow and build a new enterprise in the destination country from scratch. So all the companies that have invested from UK to India in this database, they have created their Indian subsidiaries and have been running the Indian subsidiaries. So that is the FDI database that we are having a look at. So if I have a look at okay, so if I have a look at the brief overview of FDI between India and UK, mostly I would say the FDI is tipping towards the British favor because UK is heavily investing in India. As you can see in the charts, as number of projects, total capex, jobs created, we can see that UK has been investing continuously since 2003 to 2022 in everything. And if I look at the capex that when India started investing in the UK, it started from the year 2009, 2010. I mean, most of the capex started from the year 2010, where about £3 billion were invested, $3 billion were invested in the UK from India, and still this is dwarfed by what British are investing in India. Similarly, with the number of jobs created and total number of projects. If I would like to move on to give you a
let's just spend a little more time.
Mhm.
So you should have. What are the highlight here? So this
Yes.
is total capital expenditure across all sectors, correct?
Across all sectors, segregated on a year-on-year basis.
So the two peaks, the UK obviously overwhelms. I mean, compared to India, as you said, India UK is not as elaborate or extensive as UK India.
Yes.
So let us just look at the number of projects. So we're saying at its peak in 2008, you had the largest number of UK projects in India.
Mhm.
So you said there's a reciprocal that whenever UK is peaking, India is also peaking. India
Yes.
peaks,
So
India
my
runs. Yeah.
belief, my belief is it's the policy that is there. So when there's a favorable policy from UK to India, there's a favorable policy from India to UK, and vice versa. It's like a cycle. And if I look at say from years 2008, I can see as India is increasing projects, so is the British, and as the British are increasing projects, so is India. From 2008 to say 2021. However, like we can see in the year 2022 only, since we are halfway through the year, India is investing actually more than the UK and is creating more jobs in the UK than UK is creating in India. If you can see in the jobs created graph on the bottom left, you can see that more jobs are being created
So
in the UK.
suddenly in the most recent times, India's
Is catching up. Is catching up.
is catching up and overtaking also, interestingly,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Jobs created in the UK by India is exceeding what UK is investing in creating in India. That is something that you can point. This is maybe
Yeah.
something, Tangam, you can But this is
Yes.
entire FDI, not just financial
Yeah, but
services. So, okay,
yeah, but
we have,
what is interesting, Shari, if you look at this, Gorkha, from 2022 and 2021, even those years, the investment from UK to India actually outweigh the investment from India to UK. But that trend is actually changed in the case of jobs. So is it because of investment going to more labor-intensive sectors or something like that in the UK? Is that the reason for increase in the employment?
Um, I'm not too sure about it. We'll have to dig deeper. But if you look at the sector-wise data, maybe we can have a greater clarity on it. And also we can see that it can also be the other way around as well, in which maybe UK is not investing that much in labor-intensive jobs in India as well.
Yes, yes, that's true. Yeah.
So maybe that can also be a flip side of this thinking.
sorry, I mean, actually, that's the interpretation I was giving, that, the blue line is UK. UK is always having more capex, but latterly, in the COVID impact is what it is really. You can see 2019, 2020, the massive decrease. In India, I mean, in Indian, it's not what should I say, incremental growth. It's hugely cyclical for some reason, isn't it? I mean, India was doing well in UK in 2015, and then there was a big slump, some green shoots in the latter periods and so on, right? But yeah.
Maybe it can be some policy that UK has towards, say, immigration or sponsorship or job creation. Because from what I understand, there like there were tighter immigration controls in after
Yeah, but
2012.
let's not get into the weeds now. I mean, that is something with machine learning. Once we've got all the data together, we can test out some hypotheses as to why, these trends are what they are. There is no trend. That's the whole point. You can
Yes,
see a
and
peak in the 2008-9 period. We know what happened globally because of the 2008 financial crisis. Then there was some big spurt in 2016, again, only from the UK side into India. But latterly, though hit by COVID, Indian investments, I won't say picking up, because Indian investments
No.
had peaked in 2015
Mm.
in the UK. So,
But
yeah.
but but,
So this
but
is what is
sorry. I think I made a I think I have to revisit this graph. So probably the trend is same for all these years, isn't it? Because all the years the UK investment is higher than India. Of course, there are some variations, but in terms of employment, it's always higher in India than the UK.
Yeah, but
Yeah, is that
jobs
right?
in India is because of UK investments.
Yeah, UK investment there.
Yeah,
So
across the board, everything is UK is very actively involved in India. I mean, again, as I told Guru Karan, we have to see, who are the big investors in India. Apparently, Singapore is bigger than UK. But we haven't yet got to the data sets in a granular way.
this was the pie chart of aggregated FDI inflows from UK to India. As we can see, the metals is 22% of all FDIs from UK to India. Then coal, oil, and gas is number 2 on the list with 20% share. We've got renewable energies we've got renewable energy at 8%. We've got financial services at 7%, electronic components at 5%, communications at 5%. And if I would look at software and IT services, it's about 4%. So if I have a look at the sectors that the British are investing in India, software and IT services is among the lowest, whereas energy, metals, minerals,
So it is
they
only
are the high.
number 7, is it?
So software and IT is at number 9. Financial services is at number 4, and business services is at number 7.
So did you do that breakdown I asked you to do, but what these various
Yes,
sectors, financial, yeah.
yes. So I can just show you the
And
breakdown.
sorry, before you switch from this, can you show us the India to UK?
Yes, India to UK would be somewhere here. Yes, this is India to UK. So if you look at India to UK, 29% of the FDI is going in automobiles, and 13% of the FDI is going in software and IT services, 11% in real estate, 10% in automotive components, and then 10% in financial services. So we can see that the software and IT services and financial services are the heavyweight sectors when it comes to investment in the UK from the India side, and it's not true the other way around.
Yeah, so
And
in terms of
fintech,
Gagan, sorry, 1 second. So I think what you are saying is in time, because in our Sherry, you may remember we had that chat with one of the software person, and he said all the fintech component comes under the software, because the financial services is a different things. So to what
Exactly.
the technology part is under the software. So I think we need to play
or
around
the business.
13%.
This is what we discussed with Gurkaran yesterday. He's going to give us the sort of hierarchy of how software and IT services applied to financial services will come under what we are calling fintech. I mean, financial services on its own. Did you get some definitions from the data set?
So the definition. So when I look at the FDI data set, there is a industry category, then there's a sub industry category, then there's a cluster category, and then there's an activity category. In all these four categories, there is no category exclusively labeled as fintech or blockchain.
No. But Karan, yesterday what we said is that is there a subset called software and IT services for finance? It may
Yes,
not
no,
have the word fintech.
There is no segment either way. For software and IT services, there is no financial services as a subset, and for financial services, there is no
No,
software.
sorry, not financial services as subset, but applications to, or do we have to then physically uh, collect it like blockchain? What we think is or
Yes. So
financial related software.
From what I figured out, that we'll have to go keywords, like all the fintech related keywords. I'll have to search them on the database, and it would basically go through the project information, because this database is vast. It describes the project also, that what is the project that is being worked on. So the projects actually have keywords associated to it. So with the list of keywords, I was able to come up with a few companies that are indulging in blockchain technology or fintech or cryptocurrency based exchanges as investments.
Yeah. So do you have anything on that?
Yes.
So the problem with, just a minute, I mean, this pie chart, Tangam, has a problem because this is aggregated across from 2003 to 2022. I mean, so what we really need is a pie chart in 2003, a snapshot, and a pie chart in 2021. I said, don't do 2022 because we don't have full data on it, so it'll be misleading.
Yeah.
So that is what I asked.
Yeah, what not 2018 as well, sorry. So I think before that one, 2018 or just
yeah,
before.
also 2018.
Yeah.
So if you can give us 3 snapshots, Gukaran, for this
Yes.
pie chart. See, this pie chart, as I told you, what was wrong with it is because it's got that full aggregation, right? So to give us snapshots would be better, right?
Okay.
Would you be able to do that?
Yes, I have actually done that. So
okay, that's good.
yes, so it is the UK-wise sector analysis from FDI trends from UK to India. I've compared 2 years, 2003 and 2021. So if you look at it in 2003, the left one is the left one sector-wise capital expenditure, the right one is jobs created. The green is the capex in 2003, and the blue is the capex in 2021. We can see oil, coal, oil and gas it had almost invested $1.6 billion as FDI in India, majorly through can energy. But now, if you look at 2021, there is no FDI in the segment of coal, oil, and gas. But maybe because of the tax issues can energy had in with India. And also, if I look at other sectors such as communications, even communications has dropped down. Financial services has also dropped down in capital expenditures. Only sectors that have picked up are business services and software and IT services. And when I looked at the companies that are dealing with software and IT services and business services, there are a decent number of investments in fintech that have come up after 2018. And similarly, we can have a look at the jobs created also. There's a drastic drop in the financial services jobs from UK to India.
Yeah, I think Sharisa, 2003, 2008, 2021, and even within the software sector, if you can give some kind of a estimation of all the key financial fintech related activities, I think that will be much
Yeah,
valuable.
anyway, it'll be useful, isn't it, Tangam, to give this as a
Yes.
headline to start the talk of where are we? But this is UK to India. Have you got the India?
My screen can be seen. So this was the pie chart that I was sharing earlier. Yes, so just to have a look at companies that are investing in India in the field of blockchain, there is Ernst and Young that has invested about 200 million dollars to create jobs for digital solution services through blockchain, AI, automation, and taxation technologies. This started in 2018 and it was spread across for 3 years. Similarly, there is another company called Invatio that is investing in India through software and so basically blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and everything. Though it does come under software and IT services, the subsector of it is research and development because that's how it's classified by the FDI database.
No, so what we're trying to tell you is that look for these keywords under software and IT services in the FDI dataset, keywords and firms involved in blockchain, payment systems. Do you understand?
Yes.
So in the category of software and IT services, all the words, we will try and create a number of words, keywords that you need to be searching under, okay? And then extract for each of the years, all the firms involved. And then add up, of course. So that's quite a bit of work. But I think we'll focus on that for the 11th, deliver something by, we have 2 weeks, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So.
But this is very useful. I think it's isn't it? Yeah, I think this sort of
I mean, this is this is anyway something we have to do because there is this data set. This data set has to be used.
Similarly for fintech, I remember you were discussing Revolut and how it has rose to prominence. So there's investment of Revolut into India as well. So similarly, if there's a database for companies that we know are established fintech companies, the same can be run through the FDI database and we can find their investments across India.
Yeah,
sorry, sure.
Please. Yeah. So that's the name of the game at the moment. Go for the keywords under software and IT services and pick up all the firms that are doing things under those keywords.
Mm-hmm.
Which we then say is fintech related financial services, right? But then what we want to do is create that chart. I'll do it for you. I'll show you what you need to be pulling out, and then like that hierarchical chart. So we have our categorization properly identified vis-a-vis the data set, right?
Yes, yeah. And Shari, and Gurpran, when you look into Revolut, you can also look into Tide and Revolut. So those two are. And then one other area is some investments are actually going into the banking sector, even the financial services, particularly on the banking sector. And our I Exceed is organization which we are shadowing. I think they have some links with the marketplace, and they are doing some kind of things here. So if we can get into that financial services, particularly in the banking sector, we had some other evidences, so we can back it up and make a case of that.
So when you do this, Gurkaran, are you taking down notes? The keywords
Yes,
will include, of
Professor.
course, blockchain, cloud computing, payment and settlement, anything, and if software and IT services, check for obvious words like insurance,
Retail banking, investment management.
yeah, exactly. I mean, see whether under software and IT services you can find financial services. That's
Okay.
Remember, we thought there would be something like that ready to go, but obviously now you've got to search for it.
Yeah. And also I noticed a trend in which, say, for example, like, Revolut, like it comes under financial services. It doesn't come under software and IT services, but it comes under financial services under the subcategory of shared services center. Similarly, say another company known as Startup Bootcamp that's actually investing in 10 fintech companies in India. It is coming under financial services and then under business services. Or say another company called Muff Investor Services Fintech Point 9 is coming under business services and then under business services. So it's just like going through each block, each company, and figuring out which sector.
So basically, you're saying that you have to search under both the three big headings, which is financial services, what you call it, business services, and software and IT services. Because companies under each of these umbrellas then can go into cloud computing, AI, whatever, right? So we really need, what I'm trying to tell you is we need to get this conceptual either as a Venn diagram, or, we really need to get to grips with how does the FDI data set map into what we really want. It can come from three sources. That's what we're saying, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll try and talk again, Gurkaran. I mean, maybe on Monday. Yeah.
Yes, Professor. And
I mean, keep going on this track, and then on Monday again we will reconvene, and you and I will just see whether we can get some clearer conceptual framework for this data filtering.
Perfect, Professor.
Anything from India to UK? Any company names you've found?
So India to UK were basically a couple of payment processing systems. So while we are on a call, I can just quickly show you the FDI database also, and we can just play around a couple of keywords that come right out of our heads.
No, I don't think that they need to know that. that is too basic. That they're really how to search with keywords. No, we won't do that.
Yeah. And sorry, Monday afternoon, if you are planning Monday afternoon, I can also join. I'll be there.
Actually, Monday is not a good day for me. It'll have to be Tuesday. I'm sorry. You know why? My son from America is coming after a year, so he's going to be with me. Yeah.
Okay. Carry on. We will finalize the time. Okay. Thanks. So I think it's a good start. Let's continue the good work.